Welcome to Wednesdays with Workers. This is Pete Antonellis' Wednesdays with Workers. My name is Angelica Santomauro. I am the director of the American Labor Museum Bottle House National Landmark in Haledon, New Jersey. Today, we warmly welcome Christina Rozario. Welcome, Christina.
Hi, Angelica.
I understand.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, it is our pleasure. I understand that you're a member of the HPAE 9094, and I also
9094.
9094, yes. And I know that you're active in your union. So when I hear about activism within unions, I wonder if you came from a family of activism that kind of led you to where you are today.
Well, I have some family involvement. So Angelica, I'm from Bangladesh, and you probably know George Harrison's song, Bangladesh. In 1971, my father was very active in sensitizing people in our town through theater. He was a communicator. So I've seen that growing up. And when I was in the university, we were active demanding democratic process where we had military rule. So I've been on the streets too. So there has been some history of being part of activism.
So you used the word communicating when you were describing your family situation, and I know that you yourself are chair of the communications committee in your union, which leads me to think that you believe that the union is important enough to spread the word to others. What is it about the union that's so important to you that you feel is important to teach others about?
It's more about getting the word out there that we are part of a larger whole. We're not because right at this moment, particularly in 5094, where I am, we are very fragmented. We're in different places, and it's communication that can bring us together, not just communicating about the management, but also communicating intra-communication, bringing us together. And that's one thing that we think that will improve our situation, increase our activities, increase our membership. And I also, the reason I got involved in union work, because I've just recently become active in it. I was, came to a new country, keeping my head low, paying my dues. I was one of those staff until I was very deeply disrespected. And I felt like, why am I being disrespected? And I reached out to the union, and I found that this was almost endemic, like people with my kind of titles were disrespected throughout. And I felt like, why do we not get together, and why do I not get more active? And that's how I got involved.
So by getting together, did it empower you? What was it about the other people involved in this that that inspired you and encouraged you to move forward?
Well, I felt empowered. That I surely did. I felt like there were more people like me who were not heard and who deserve better. And so that I felt empowered. And I'm sure others feel that too, people who are getting active, and stories of empowerment, if we can spread it. And for that, Angelica, this program that you do needs to be appreciated too. You're showcasing people who are active. And that's so important, so that, we don't feel like, oh, nothing will happen, no one will listen to us.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. We now are part of a global marketplace. And coming from Bangladesh yourself, you know that labor is so much cheaper in other countries. If the day comes that we can spread the wealth throughout the world and also bring manufacturing jobs back to America, how do you think the union movement should play into the hands of these people who are returning to America, with these companies returning to America, providing more employment for workers?
Well, Angelica, you use the word should, and then there is a difference between should and would. And I would be very cautiously optimistic about it, because look at the industry where I am, higher education. That didn't move anywhere, but we have low engagement because over the past 50, 60 years, union activities have been vilified. So we are the troublemakers, we are the meddlers. So, and I also feel from personal experience too, that there is a kind of an apathy, like my voice will not be heard, nothing will change. So to turn that around, we need platforms of discourse. We need issues to be discussed that means something to the workers. Politics has become theatrics. And where do we discuss the wages, living wages? Where do we discuss children's education? Those platforms are shrinking. Unless we have those tables where we can discuss those issues, manufacture, and we do not know how manufacturing will be in the future. Is it going to be the type where we all got together in the dining table or in the cafeteria and discussed real issues, or is it going to be something else? So I would be cautiously optimistic, but the word you use, should, it should get better.
Thank you. Yes. Now, you mentioned your role in higher education, and I know that there was a big victory that took place last year with the professors and staff at Rutgers University. Would you like to share some of that with everyone?
Well, that gave impetus to the other negotiation, because I was part of the negotiation committee negotiating for our union, and the other unions' activities helped a little bit. But even then, in the negotiation table, that was my first time, and I was kind of surprised too, that where like that's the way things are. When you have power, you're always trying to use the power over. But then again, if you have power, it is a power to do good, right? And that is neglected. So yes, that was something that put momentum to the whole movement and helped with the other unions negotiating too.
Yes,
But there
Rutgers
is a
made
long way to go.
there's a long way to go, and with people like you, I'm sure we will get there. And I just want to ask you one last question about how you see our future in this country with American workers. And let's be as optimistic as we can and say that the activism that we are seeing continues to grow on a grassroots level. And suppose our union membership does go up, how would that impact our country?
Well, there will be more activities, there will be more union. I was about to share an actual experience that one of our units had. So, I was talking about power. Our unit members, they were just given 2 weeks of notice, then they were being moved to other non-union positions, and they got together, got their representative, and reminded management about the existing contracts, which is already there, and the whole process was abandoned. So we will have, if things get better, we will have better contracts that give better possibilities for workers. And I think it's only could go for better, because what does a business want? They want profit, right? So you have better, committed, happier workforce, you have better productivity, you have happier families, less mental health cases. So I can only hope that anyone who has power sees the possibilities of having happier workforce.
I know I said that was the last question, but you used the word contract, and there may be viewers who don't even understand the whole concept of having a contract between the employer and the employee. So it's a responsibility of the union member. Would you agree that they need to know the contract language? Would you expand upon that?
Yes. So once the members know about the contract language, that's when they would feel where the shoe hurts, right? And that would be the place where they would say, let's get together to change this little nail because this has been hurting me. So in the next contract, we should all get together, raise our voice to have a better contract. Unless we do that, and that means we need to have more members involved, because the few that go into the negotiation table, they are not empowered enough unless all the members are active. And giving positive stories, giving stories of possibilities are also ways to get member engagement. But we're trying to work on that, and that's part of what we are trying to do through the communications effort to be closer to the members and encouraging more members to be active, to become active members, because I think there is the low membership is about apathy, like thinking like, oh, I don't matter, nothing will happen, nothing will change.
And do you see your union as a family?
Yes. So that is what drew me to it. I felt like, okay, I'm not all by myself. I have a larger family that, has my back. And more people who think that way and get involved, the union would get stronger.
Well, I think that's a very positive note to end on. And I thank you so much for your time today. And I wish you well, continued success, getting the word out to others. And we're right by your side. And I want to thank the viewers for watching today. And please come to visit us. Our address is 83 Norwood Street in Haledon, New Jersey, the American Labor Museum. Thank you.
Thank you, Angelica. Thank you for inviting me.
Our pleasure.